I would say it was a pretty similar approach. We knew that they had a very good D-line and very good pass rushers, but I think we have a pretty good O-line too, so we just had to kind of try and push them around up front and have our way. Not really. It was a little weird at the beginning of the week because I wasn't used to pass setting. I was used to run blocking and getting back into it a little bit.
Jack, let's talk about your touchdown. How long has that been in your playbook, and how excited are you when you hear that call?
It was in there for about 5 minutes. Credit to the offensive coaches and the O-linemen. They got it done.
Thought we had that personnel
I got
since
lucky.
the spring. We had that since the spring, dude.
Different formation.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Connor, after a week off, what was it like to get back out there, and what was it like at the end of the game when you knew the game was won? You got to wave your arms to the crowd like that.
Yeah, obviously sitting out, stunk. I played in a lot of football games here without, obviously I've been very fortunate to be able to play in a lot of games and not have to sit out. So that was a reality check, and it just made me appreciate that much more. And then to win the way we did, I mean, you have Day scoring a touchdown, Malik and Jack. I mean, whoever would have thought going into this game that, all three of those guys would score. The amount of fun that we had on the sideline, on the field today was great. The atmosphere was great. It was just a whole lot of fun. Felt great.
Connor, how much did you practice this week, and when did you know that you were going to go today?
Did a little bit more each and every day. Tuesday did a little bit. Wednesday did a little bit more, and Thursday was the first practice that I did everything. So I was going to give it a go Thursday to see how I felt, and then kind of go from there. And that was going to be the day that I was going to know if I was going to go or not. Felt good, then talked with the coaches and figured out that I was going to go.
For Coach Tressel and for Shilique, can you just talk about the evolution of the defense over the past 3 weeks? Things have really picked up, and now you've added turnovers to the equation and turning them into points. Can both of you kind of address that and how things have picked up?
I think we've done a lot better in the past few weeks, definitely picking it up, trying to put the game on us, put it on the defense, even though offense has been doing a great job in the past couple of weeks also and throughout the season. But we've definitely been trying to allow our D tackles to score a lot more, so we've been putting them in great position to catch the ball and run it in. I actually could have caught that ball, but I thought about it and I said it would be more priceless if I gave it to Malik. No, but I think that we definitely got a lot better, and we stepped up to the challenge. The coaches challenge us each and every day at practice, and we challenge ourselves to be a better defense because, of course, we want to be number one. So we aren't quite there yet, but we're making progress toward that way.
To Connor and Shilique, right back here, I already asked Jack this on the field. Coach D said this week this same old Spartan stuff is old news. Given that, how sure were you guys that you weren't going to let this opportunity slip away with everything in your hands?
We tried not to get too high off of a win and too low off a loss, and we felt that we needed to come and see how this game was going to play out. We understood that Penn State wasn't going to just let us take the win, but the biggest thing is he always says that we need to compete. So that was the thing. We just came out there to compete like we do each and every game, and like you said, the same old Spartan. That's not us. I've never heard of that, and this is the first time I heard about it when in the media. But I feel as if we bounce back each and every loss or each and every win, and we're trying to compete on an even higher scale each and every game. I
think when you put us in a situation like today where we're one game away from going to Indy, there's no question we're going to go out there and give it everything that we got. I know for a fact for me, for all the other guys, seniors, when we're one win away, obviously I don't think we're against the wall, but when we're in a situation like this where it's win or go home, we're going to come out and we're going to play. We're going to play fast, and we're not going to be denied, and we're not going to let someone come in here and take away what we want.
Connor, against Rutgers, you got knocked down 9 times. I don't know. Did you get touched today at all?
Nope, didn't get touched once. And O-line did a great job. We knew going into the game they had a very, very talented D-line. They led the nation in sacks. Nassib led the nation in individual sacks with 14.5, and we watched a lot of film just on their D-line, seeing how they play and stuff. And credit to the O-line, they did. I think they played their best game today. Kept me very well protected and blocked very well in the run game as well. So when I can stand back there with time and feel safe, it's a pretty good situation.
And Dave, the second part of that I was going to ask was, how much was the game plan set? I mean, it seemed like there were shorter, quicker passes, some tempo things to make sure he was able not to be back there too long.
I mean, we went through the game plan this week. Basically, it wasn't going to change depending who the quarterback was. Now, play calling might have been a little bit different with Connor in there, maybe getting the ball out a little bit quicker. But I saw Connor out there. First of all, I saw protection hold up very, very well, as you mentioned, but I also saw Connor with a lot of confidence sitting in there. So there were times in there, some critical third downs, where he went to a second, third progression and did so with a lot of confidence and some steadiness in his feet there. So, again, credit to the offensive line, but Connor did a good job staying in there too and having the confidence in our protection.
Hi, this one's for Jack. Just how important has it been to have the offensive line kind of get back and healthy and getting reps together these last couple of weeks? And do you guys feel like maybe you're starting to peak at the right time here as a team?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say we're peaking at the right time. We've had guys go down and people have to play different positions, and I think everybody's stepped up on the offensive line and on the offense, kind of help balance things out. But we're starting to gel a little more up front and get used to working next to each other like we're normally, or working next to people we're normally with. But I think it's all coming together.
Connor, you had that zip on the ball that you were lacking in Columbus, preventing you from going. You came out before the last play in the first half on that Hail Mary. This full week of additional work, treatment, et cetera, how much more improvement is there for you from a strength standpoint?
Oh, it's going to be night and day. Resting it for that whole week leading up to Ohio State, there was, like you said, there was no zip. I had no strength, and there was some pain when I threw. So basically, if I would have gone out there, I would have been useless in our pass game. So when I got hurt, they said it was like a 2 to 3 week deal. So I came back in 2 weeks and felt good out there today. And just a whole other week of treatment and a little bit of rest should be great.
Connor and Jack, this was for you guys. After that Nebraska loss, you come back, you obviously get the big wins over Maryland and Ohio State in this one now. Do you guys feel you're playing with more confidence than maybe you were earlier in the season? Not to say you didn't have it, but after that loss, did that help you guys push you through to have as much confidence as you're playing with at this point?
Yeah, I think so. When you kind of have something taken away from you, kind of sit back and kind of reevaluate yourself, kind of check yourself, and we did that. And we know what it feels like to lose, and it's the worst feeling in the entire world. So we never want to feel like that ever again. So I think there's some extra motivation for us to come out there and play, because that feeling when you lose it's kind of indescribable. Kind of puts you in a place you don't really want to be, and it's just a horrible feeling. So we play, obviously, to go out there and win each and every game. And then I think now it's just, we have, our whole line is out there. Our O-line's healthy. Our backs are healthy. We got Madre back. Our receivers are healthy, and our tight ends. So I think it's just more of us just, working together, not having, knock on wood, not having, guys get hurt and guys having to sit out. I think it's just us feeling more comfortable, having the chemistry with the guys on offense and defensively too. I think it's just the guys that are all out there working out together and playing together instead of dealing with all the injuries that we had earlier in the year.
Dave, question for you. We hear skill position players talk about as a threat, but you have arguably one of the best offensive lines in the country when they're healthy, and they are now. From an offensive coordinator perspective, how much of a weapon is this offensive line now that they're healthy?
Well, obviously, it's a great weapon. It's a good feeling to have to know that when we're calling the run plays, we're running the ball efficiently, and at the same time, it makes our pass game that much better, whether it's a play action pass or drop back pass. It's very easy to play call because of what these guys are doing. They're making everything pretty not easy, but they're making it look easy sometimes.
Coach Tressel, Shilique talked earlier about that. Guys challenged themselves. You challenged them. Were there any tweaks made defensively, or was it really just a question of these guys picking it up and taking it upon themselves, or did you and Coach Barnett tweak some things?
Well, you go back to the Nebraska game and the loss there. Shilique was one of the first people I went up to in the locker room afterwards and asked if he was all right. And he was sort of teary-eyed, but he said this is the best thing that could have happened to our team. And I might have mentioned that before to the media, but obviously that was a mature answer. But then a whole switch changed. The guys changed from thinking that we're going to be the best defense in the country because everybody was going to do their job to deciding we're going to be the best defense in the country because we're going to dominate and we're going to kick people's tail. So that loss might have been huge for the defense, but you did see a mentality change, and that was the biggest difference. There's tweaks in the defense, no doubt. There are some, but the mentality change was the biggest difference.
Kind of following on to what Coach just said, you guys are where you thought you would be at the beginning of the year right now, but the way you got there was a little different, with the Michigan game, Connor being down last week and then the loss. Shilique and Connor, what does that say about you guys, the way you got to where you got going to the title game next week?
Coach D always says it 4-1. Mental is a toughness as 4 is to 1. So it's just the guys that we have on this team are just so mentally tough, so mentally strong. The adversity that we've had to deal with guys going down, like you said, it's obviously not the way that we envisioned it, but it just goes to show, the chemistry we have too. I think that's one of the main reasons why we're so successful, why we've been successful in the past, and Coach D's hit on it before and talked about it, and I'm sure we have. It's the chemistry we have with our teammates, with our coaches. I can speak for myself, and I really don't think teams are as close as we are, and any team can say that, but there's not one guy on this football team that I don't like. So when you have 100 guys that love each other, that have each other's backs, that will go to war with each other, you can do great things even when the top guys go down. So credit to our guys and our coaches for putting us in the right situations, but ultimately us just having great chemistry.
I kind of think it's the image of the Spartan dog. A lot of guys are going to go down, things are going to happen, but the biggest thing is how do you handle adversity, and I think that this team has done a great job throughout games handling adversity. And like Coach Tressel said, even after a big loss, being able to handle adversity, come back and still compete on a high level. And, we just kind of it's really all about the fight in us, and we constantly have that fight. We constantly have that drive. A lot of people say the chip on our shoulders. That's constantly what we have to be successful, And so we're constantly trying to do whatever we can and fight for our brothers for the most important thing. That's the most important. Just fight for each other, because understand that you're not only playing for yourself, but you're playing for your family and then the man next to you.
Jack and Connor, I don't know if you've been asked this yet, but about winning the division championship. What does it feel like to win the division? That's probably the initial goal you guys set back in January, if I'm not mistaken. Your thoughts on winning that? And also, Connor, did you ever think you'd be in a situation where you're asking a crowd to get noisy at your own before a snap? What was that?
Well, it feels great to win the division, obviously. We always talk about just taking it one step at a time, win the East, win the conference, make the playoffs. So having our first goal accomplished is great. We're going to celebrate it for 24 hours and move on. But then going back to getting the crowd hyped, I don't know. I was just trying to get the crowd into it. It's not every day you see a 265-pound tailback back there.
265.
What? Hey, I'm just trying to be nice.
I know it looks slim and cut, but
okay, 280, around 280. So I was just trying to have fun with it. It's our last time in Spartan Stadium. And I just wanted to get the crowd into it because I knew Jack was going to score.
Connor, can you talk a little bit about what Aaron Burbridge meant for you today, knowing you had a sure-handed receiver, and then also about that touchdown? How much did you get to see of that play?
It's been no question. AB's AB. He's been doing the same stuff all year. We know he's a great player, and then we just know he's going to go out there and make crazy catches, get yards after the catch. So that's just Burb being Burb. But then going back to the touchdown, it was funny. So they were telling us on the sideline, okay, like you're going to go in, you and Jack, for your last play, you're going to hand the ball off to Jack, walk off, whatever, kiss the Spartan head, get a standing ovation, whatever, walk off, and we were getting ready, and then all of a sudden we kick off to them, and they fumble on like the 6-yard line, 7-yard line, whatever it was, and I looked at Jack and I'm like, hey, you better score. And Jack was like, all right, man, I'm going to try, yada, yada, whatever. So then we go out there, and sure enough, they blitzed, which kind of opened up a hole for Jack to stiff arm a guy and walk into the end zone. So just super proud of him. He's 2 for 2. Maybe we should start handing the ball off to him more often. Going back to the spring game, he had a touchdown, and so he's 2 carries for 2 touchdowns, averaging probably about 8 yards pop. So, Coach Warner, I don't know if you might want to start giving the ball more.
Watch out, running backs.
Shilique, go ahead and move that microphone over since this is the last one. You were nodding your head when Shilique, you were nodding your head when Coach Tress was talking about that conversation you had and the mindset change. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think a lot of the players were sad we were down, but it was kind of one of those moments where you realize that it was something that the team needed, to build us back up, to help us understand that, we need to take these games very seriously and understand that it could come down to, any given moment for a team. You could win or you could lose these games. And I just felt like, I was really sad and I was really pissed at the same time because I, of course, wanted to go undefeated. But I felt that we definitely needed that. That was something that we needed as a team to come back and regroup, and definitely look back at our basically our goals and understand that we had to fix everything, get together, and make the mindset that we weren't gonna let another team take that away from us on on defense, and of course the same thing with offense. We just weren't gonna let another team get a last second play like that. We were gonna come out and try to shut teams out.
Thanks a lot, guys.